Hey there, everybody, it's Mecha Draco coming to you with another episode of... Hey there, everybody, it's Mecha Draco coming to you with another episode of Prey. So in today's episode, we're going to actually be continuing the actual main missions up a little bit, but I wanted to go on ahead and also start doing something a little bit more along the lines of what I'm really trying to do with these YouTube videos, which is to teach you guys a little bit of how to play these games. I'm been kind of neglecting this particular process by quite a bit. And why does that door open? That's a little scary. Why did that door open? But anyways, I want to kind of teach you guys a little bit of how to actually play the game, a little bit more so than just, you know, oh, I'm going to show you how to play the game. And what I'm specifically going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a purity play. I'm not going to be getting any kind of these neuromods over here, the purple neuromods that you see here. I'm not going to be getting any of those. I'm not even going to be getting the extra scientist mods that they give you later on when you actually finally get the psychoscope. So we're going to see what's going on. Well, I'll try my best to see what I can do for you guys on that, and we'll just go ahead and continue the story. So, alright guys, so let's go ahead and start off by trying to explain a little bit of what exactly a purity play is going to be. And I'm pretty sure that's a mimic. It's floating in air. Yeah, that's a mimic. That was a little weird. Anyways, as I was trying to say, what I would like to start off by doing is explaining a little bit of what purity play is. Purity play basically just means that you don't get any of the the Typhon neuromods. You don't have any of the psychic abilities. You don't have any of those types of things. And this isn't necessarily a difficult way to play. It just means that you're going to be a little bit more focused on using weaponry and other things like that to actually take out your enemies. Now let's see what we've got. We've got everything in here. Yep, okay. Now, obviously, a very important thing to remember is that every little thing is important to actually look at. Every little thing will help you. Now, I'm not only going to be doing purity play, but I'm going to also be doing a little bit more of a, how to put it, a straightforward kind of combat. I'm not going to be doing, like sneak attacks. I'm not going to be doing other things like that. I'm mostly going to be focusing my attention on doing like direct attacks, direct fighting, something like that. And I'll teach you guys, train you guys a little bit on how exactly you should go about doing that for every single enemy. Because every enemy obviously has its own special way of fighting. You know, every enemy is different from the other, different from another. So each enemy has its own weaknesses, its own capacities. Ooh. Like that one. That's an etheric phantom. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's an etheric phantom. These guys can split into two of themselves. One becomes a lot weaker than the other. Boosh. But uh-oh, I think he saw me. Okay. Boosh. Alright. So, the etheric ones, they can split into multiple ones, and they hurt you if you even get near them. And as you can see, when they die, they leave a pool that also hurts you as well. They have a tendency to drop quite a lot of additional resources, so if you can kill them, definitely do so. But their main issue with them is the fact that they are really, really fast. They are supremely fast in comparison to the other ones. Not to say that the other ones aren't fast, but these guys will charge directly at you and do quite a lot of damage very quickly. So you do want to try to just keep your distance from them. Going in melee with those guys is really a dangerous option, but you can do it as long as you're doing a sneak attack. Now, using the glue gun on them as well is also something that is in fact actually doable. It's just a little bit of a...
Psychotronics is the opposite of safe, Morgan.
Obviously, I don't want to talk over these guys as well, so... Oh, shit. Okay, there's definitely a guy. Yep, there he is.
We're in agreement on this one. Get through this place fast as possible. You're looking for a maintenance airlock to a utility tunnel called the Gut. It'll take you all the way to the top of the station.
So, to continue on with the etheric ones, they are a little dangerous, obviously, more and so when you get into melee and other things like that. And as I said, they do have a tendency to be very, very fast. So you do want to keep your distance as best you can. Utilizing a shotgun on them is not necessarily a good choice, especially if you're low on ammunition. It doesn't really do that much damage, and there's definitely an enemy over here. I could have swore I just heard it beep at me. You can also lean with Q and E, but you can't move and lean at the same time, which is a little annoying, but eh. Like, I kind of wish you could just lean, like, just a teeny little bit. Or something else along those lines. How much is this? This is 2, okay. I don't have hacking 2 yet. There's no other way. Okay. And you do obviously want to keep your eyes open for any kind of, like, idea of where to look or ideas of where to go. As you can see, like, in here, this security checkpoint, for example, there's no way in here other than... effectively 2 different ways. You can jump through here if you have the ability to change into a mimic. You can change into a small item and then jump through these small holes if you wanted to. Or you can hack this. So there's always like multitude of ways to get into a location, but some of those locations may be a little bit harder to predict than the others. So always keep your eyes open for when you're actually paying attention to things or when you're actually looking through those things, because you never know 100% where things might be coming from. Now, if we fight another... Ooh, jeez, another mimic. A regular mimic. Okay, obviously, as you can tell, regular mimics, they're pretty simple to fight. Glue gun is usually the best option when it comes to fighting mimics. Because as you can see, hitting a mimic with just like 2 shots from... Ooh, that's a phantom. Let's try to avoid the phantom if we can. As you can tell with the mimics are pretty easy to fight. You hit them with like 1 or 2 blobs of glue, and you should be able to take them out pretty easily from there. Even if you just fight them regular with your thing or with just your normal wrench, you should be able to kill them with just 2 or 3 hits at most. However, it's very important to remember to do a charged attack and not just a normal attack, because you'll do more damage with a charged attack than you will a regular attack. Which direction is he faced? He's going that way. Okay, I might be able to... Oh shit, he's on the ground. Okay. Now, obviously, as you can see with the Phantom, it's always a good idea to try and get a sneak attack off on anything if you can get one off. If you can, definitely try to do so. They have the tendency to give you an extra bonus in damage. It's an upwards of 200% to 250% if you do the upgrades, but it starts out as 150, so you're still doing a lot more damage this way than normal. So it's always a good idea to try and get a sneak attack off on one if you can. And I'm not going to worry about that room. You just... No, wait. That's right. I got to go down that way. I got this weird feeling there's going to be somebody else here, isn't there? Ooh. Whoa. Okay. Nasty. That's grody. Somebody needs to check what they're eating. But anyways, when you're fighting, let's see here. When you're fighting those phantoms, though, you definitely want to keep yourself your options open. Okay, now this is actually going to be a little bit of a tough fight here. I know what comes after here. Let me see if I can actually set up something. See, what happens here is a actual like little swarm of those mimics. So you're actually going to get like quite a few of them to pop out from behind that glue wall. Whenever you see like something like this, it's a pretty obvious. It is actually a pretty obvious ambush right here. You can even see that there's mimics behind this wall as I look at them. So let me see what all I've got here. I don't think I have the weaponry required in order to make an actual effective stand against them, but I could possibly. Okay, got one of them. There are two of them, I think. Or at least one. And where's that other one? There you are. I strongly suggest whenever you fight mimics to only fight it with a... Okay. To only fight mimics with a... with your wrench. Don't waste ammunition on mimics. They're too weak, and they move around way too much for you to be able to actually hit them fairly easily with anything other than the wrench. You are going to miss them with the wrench, obviously, a lot, but if you miss with the wrench, it's not that big of a deal. It's when you miss with a... Okay, let's take the psychoscope and scan that mimic, since he's going to be frozen there for a while.
The psychoscope was a breakthrough. Apart from neuromods, it's the most important tech on Talos 1. Use it to scan the Typhon organisms if you want to learn what makes them tick.
Right, and definitely always look through your psychoscope at every single thing that you see until you've gotten the full scan. Even if you're not utilizing the scans to get some neuromods and other things like that, you are going to still end up getting more.
Scan complete.
You are going to end up getting extra bonuses. Boosh. You are going to end up having increased damages and have a better understanding of who it is and what it is that you're fighting when you do it. Beyond my just explanation of how to fight it, it'll give you like extra weaknesses and other things like that. And I'm pretty sure there's a phantom up here. I can almost think I hear him. Luckily, there's a lot of audio signals as well that you can listen for that will help tell you exactly what it is and who it is that you're fighting against and or what it is that's coming up. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna glue gun this guy. Boosh. Boosh. Okay, good. Now, as you can see, when it comes to hitting those phantoms with the wrench, phantoms are probably one of the easiest things to fight with the wrench. As long as you glue gun them or you hit them really hard with the wrench to begin with, you make sure you hit them with a charge attack, obviously. It will knock them on the ground, and as long as you keep hitting them, it will usually keep them on the ground. And as long as you... Oh, you know what? I just realized... Nah, no, it's not that big of a deal. So, but as long as you keep hitting them with the charge attack, you can usually keep them on the ground. Oh, you scared the shit out of me, man. But yeah, as long as you keep hitting them, though, you should be able to keep them on the ground and not have anything to concern yourself with when it comes to that stuff. Like on a...
Guys, already figured out how to use your psychoscope. Alright, Morgan, I know I can't make you stay put, but you're gonna die down there if you don't listen. I'm sending you the code. Director Kelstrup's office. I'm certain he's hidden neuromods there. Use them to install one of the Typhon abilities. That's what this is all about, Morgan. You spent 3 years of your life making it possible. Putting what they can do into us. You've just forgotten.
And it's true, you do. You send a lot of that stuff in there. See, in these phantoms, for example, these phantoms shove, as you can see, they have a weakness right here when you look at them. It says glue. They're immune to EMP, and their major scannable powers are Kinetic Blast 1s and 2.
Psionic aptitude available.
And I wish I could lower these. I can never tell what the heck that sound is. Okay. Now, there's only really 2 ways to take care of these. 2 ways to take care of these types of things right here. That's either to repair it or to fix or to glue it. You can also turn the power completely off, but I find myself concerned with turning the power off completely, because if you do that, then you oftentimes will find yourself like not even able to use anything else. Like right here, I think there's a power switch. Right here, you could turn the power off, and that would also turn off this electrical power. But it would also turn this off. It would turn this off. It would turn pretty much just about everything in here off. So you really wouldn't have the option to be able to get around and do much. And definitely read and look at everything. There's nothing you should not be looking at. Because even if you don't actually see anything in particular... Hold on 1 minute. Watch. Security will perform regular checks on his physical condition. Okay. And... Ooh. Ah, yes, I know what that one is. And the Weaver. So does a mimic become the Weaver, or is it like multiple mimics become the Weaver? I'm wondering how they can see as well, because it's sort of like... So wait, they're killing each other. That's very strange. They're not killing each other. They're turning... Okay, that's weird. See, I never actually watched this before. And it was weird because it looked like the mimic didn't want to be turned into one. So, I don't know. That was very strange. Okay. 908. Now, every code can pretty much be found on these things. However, there are a few things that you can't necessarily find.
A warning.
Ooh.
If you scan enough Typhon organisms, you'll be able to install neuromods that are powerful. But they're the reason we're in this mess. For one thing, the station's defensive turrets will identify you as an alien threat. There might be worse consequences I can't yet see. I don't want you to lose yourself.
Okay, gotcha.
Specimens required.
I actually knew that was a mimic. But when it comes to mimics, one of the things I can't really tell you is how to find out what they are. The psychoscope, if you enter a room, use the psychoscope because it will identify whether or not something is a mimic or not. Because the first chip that you actually get on your scope, and let me go ahead and look at that for you, is in fact the mimic detection. This will allow you to actually literally see any hidden mimics no matter what. And this is critical for the pistol. I like that. I'm not going to actually use it just because I don't really use the pistol. But hey, you know, I don't actually remember this at all. This is not something I've ever seen before.
Calvino, what did you do to my conference room? Yes. I was.
Let's see here. Ooh, another chipset. What's in here?
Is a dot. Yes, that's right. It's the calibration system for the new touchscreen. You only have to run it one time. Are you kidding me? Just follow the dot. When it turns green, touch it. It should. Damn it, Calvino! I do not have time to play sing-along with your bouncing ball. We'll call you back.
And I'm probably going to say it again and again and again, but I wanted to make sure you guys are aware. Look at everything. And pick up and look at everything. There's nothing in this game that you don't want to be picking up. And since you are going to be playing, if you're playing the Purity route, you definitely want to be picking up everything that you can because you're going to be wanting to get extra resources for crafting ammunition, extra resources for crafting various weapons, neuromods, everything else. Oh jeez. Ah! See, I've never actually been down. I've never actually been down here before. So wait. I'm confused. Is this supposed to be the Huh. Well, that's interesting. Oh shit. And just keep whacking them when they land on the ground. They'll eventually die. And if you keep hitting them really hard while they're on the ground, they will stay on the ground. Or at least that's supposedly what'll happen. I have never done that before. I've never gone down there before. I'm honestly, I never really paid much attention to that location, that area before, so... Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, another issue I should remind everybody of, and I should point out to everyone, is I'm not entirely sure why it is, but these extra, like, tumors and the extra Typhon organs that you find off of the bodies of these Typhons, they will, for some reason, not stack right away. Now, you can get them to stack in your inventory, but you have to do it manually. It's a little weird. I don't entirely understand why it's like that, but that's just how it is. And you know what? I totally forgot. There's something else I'm going to get rid of. Something I should suggest to you guys, if you are going to be doing the Purity route, you're not going to be using Psychic powers pretty much at all. So get rid of these. These things will get you so much of the extra material, of the exotic material. Like, look at this. 9 extra exotic material. That is 3 neuromods all by itself. So always get those if you can. And I do want to also remind you guys, everybody as well, the last episode we went into fabrication so that we could find the ability to create neuromods. However, one of the most important things to remember about going to fabrication is that it actually allows you to reset the neuromod fabrication capacities. Like, it basically, you can't, after a certain point, you aren't allowed to make any more neuromods. And I'm not entirely sure why that is, but you aren't. And for some reason, that's the way it is. But you can go into the fabrication and you can turn it off and make it so that you can continue to create those items. Why that is specifically, I don't know, but that's just how it works. So that was part of the reason why we went to fabrication to begin with. Nope, didn't have enough. I was hoping that maybe that would be enough, but it wasn't quite. And we've got the science operator up there, and I'm pretty sure there's a phantom right above us, and that's the reason why it keeps, like, dinging us. But there is a staircase. It's right over here that we can use. It should be able to get us straight to it. Not that one. Yeah, you better move. These just seem like they're too... It just didn't feel right. Didn't feel right. Okay, where are they? Oh. Well, I see how it is. Show me where they went and don't let me get up there. Okay. Uh-oh. Which one of you is a mimic? Which one of you is a mimic? Oh, they're all a mimic! Holy crap! Hey, just because I played the game once doesn't mean I've got all the secrets. Okay. Woo! Okay. I'm pretty sure a few of them fell. So they're probably like roaming around down there somewhere. And I realized I didn't scan any of those guys, and I should have, but obviously there's plenty of mimics. Mimics are not exactly the most uncommon enemy in the game. It's pretty easy to find the mimics and just scan them. So mimics are not top priority when it comes to scanning. Ooh, okay, that's not bad. Okay. Alright, nothing else up here. But this is a secret. I mean, this is a bit of a secret anyways. These two guys decided they were going to head up this direction, and they apparently got hit by mimics. Did I have... Are there like 3 different mimics corpses? Did I get more of the mimics? Maybe I got more of the mimics than I thought I did. Ooh, that was definitely a phantom down there. I'm going to take out that phantom. Oh, shit. Ow! I hate Plasma Blast. The Plasma Blast is one of the hardest things to actually dodge. It's not the hardest thing to dodge, but it's not exactly an easy thing to dodge either. Ah, well, darn. We'll just go on ahead and just make the neuromods again. Alright. Oh, right. There were some things here, and then we'll go back up there. And did that phantom just appear over here, or is he over here because I went upstairs? Because I wouldn't mind seeing if I could kill him. No, I guess he went up. He's there because I went upstairs. And that is something that you have to also be careful about. Enemies in this game do sort of just randomly appear out of nowhere. There's no specific rhyme or reason as to where they come from or why they start showing up. So, ooh, okay. Come here. Oh, did I forget to install the chipset again? Sometimes I do that. Nope, it's definitely there. So, why can't I see this guy? Okay, then fine. I know which one it is. Oh, damn. At least I knew which one it was. This is the room that everybody probably knows about by now. This is the not a mimic room, where they have all the little sticky notes that are in here that says whether or not something is or is not a mimic. Uh-oh.
Scan complete. New psionic aptitude available.
I'm not really entirely sure what happened with that one. It kind of got glitchy, I guess. There are a handful of mimics in this room already, and if you actually pay very close attention to the not a mimic thing, you can usually find them. Uh-oh. Let's just eat some food. Boosh. Well, didn't mean to do that, but we got him. That's what matters. Okay, we got it. Utilizing any kind of method like that is also pretty useful. Anything that explodes upon impact is always useful. They usually have like O2 tanks sitting on the side, and as you probably have seen me using them occasionally, there are these like fiery canisters. They all fall down from over there that are fiery canisters. So, in fact, you know what? Since we know that these are going to be mimics when we come over here eventually, we're just going to do this. Since we know they're mimics. Okay, so there's 1, 2. I think I killed 3 of them, but I think some of them fell off. Ooh, we can scan this one, can't we? We might be able to scan the second one. Oh, come on now. Keep going. Keep going. There you go.
More specimens required.
Let's see if that one's also a mimic or a phantom. If it's a phantom, then I obviously don't have to worry about it. Always scan your enemies. Oh, jeez. Okay, see those the key blast, the psychic blast that they do. It's dangerous, and it's definitely one of the harder things to fight against. So you definitely want to keep your eyes open for it. They obviously do a very obvious tail for it, and as long as you dodge right or left fairly quickly, you should be able to get out of its range and get out of its overall attack. But it does hit really hard, and as you can clearly tell, let's go ahead and scan this, because why not?
Research complete.
Sweet. But as you can clearly tell from all of that, ooh, okay, transcribe.
In light of what we cobalt.
Oh, Jesus. Whoa!
Neuromods can already adapt to Typhon material. To the human mind, there's no reason in principle the reverse wouldn't work.
Say you managed to insert human neurons into a Typhon. Knowing the success rate.
The new neural structures would mature over a series of actual experiences.
Or simulated ones. What? Simulate the experiences. Calvino. He has...
Right, okay, look, it's fascinating, but let's focus on what we know is working. I don't want anyone devoting resources to this.
Okay, that was a little dangerous. I did not hear them bust through here or come through here at all. I just suddenly they were all there. So as you can clearly see, when it comes to fighting multiple enemies, you want to use your environment to your advantage, especially in purity mode, because you don't have the firepower as much as you do when you are playing the psychic abilities. Because when you get these psychic abilities, you have the firepower to sort of toss around and throw at people in certain ways. You can actually pretty much like just straight up blast somebody with like a kinetic blast, for example, and it will just straight up destroy them. But you can't really hit them with, say, just like a shotgun or a grenade or something like that, and it actually doing much good beyond maybe killing or hurting a few of them. Unless you're lucky, I suppose. If you throw the lure, like, because they do, obviously, we just got the lure. And as you can see here. Oh, yeah, free scan. I forgot about that.
Scan complete. New psionic aptitude available.
Oh, it's a greater mimic. We haven't scanned one of these yet.
Scan complete. More specimens required.
There's obviously a greater mimic in there, as you can see. And this is basically trying to explain to you a little bit of how the null wave thing works. Null waves are really useful. In fact, I should have probably come here first before I actually did anything else, because these null waves would have helped me a lot against that technophage or technopath. Deploy the null wave. Now, what that'll do is that'll make it so that these guys can't change out of his form. He can't change out of his form now. At least he's not supposed to be able to change out of his form. See? He's just stuck. But you can still kill him. Oh, what the hell? I'm not really entirely sure what happened there. I mean, as you can see, he was stuck in his form. He couldn't actually get out of it because of the null wave ability. I don't know what happened after that. Normally, he just dies instantly after I hit him with it, so I'm not really entirely sure what happened there. But that's effectively what ends up happening with those. Yeah. Come on.
Scan complete. New psionic aptitude available. Scan complete. More specimens required.
But when fighting, definitely want to make sure you guys are aware, though, that when you are fighting like a larger number of enemies and stuff like that, you definitely want to make sure that you utilize and pay attention to your environment when you actually do fight them, because you never know what may or may not come back here, you. I probably should not be chasing him, considering I'm... Did he just run up underneath there? That's a little weird. He just poofed. Well, I mean, I suppose if he's gone, he's gone. If I don't have to worry about him no more, I'm pretty freaking okay with not having to worry about him no more. Loss in resources, I suppose you could say, but I'd rather lose a little resources than lose my life. I know I could just eat, and definitely eat. If you have food, eat it. Don't feel you know, like you need to hold back on eating food. Just because there's lots of food. There's always lots and lots of food. Let's go ahead and look at all of them. Okay. But definitely utilize your environment as well when you're doing this kind of playthrough. You don't want to overdo it, obviously. You don't want to like get yourself caught out in certain situations and other things like that. And I don't think I've explored the other side of this at all yet, so let's go ahead and go over there. And definitely explore everything. Like, if there's one thing I can't stress enough, it's you need to explore just about everything.
Warning, suit integrity damaged.
I really hate this game sometimes. Unfortunately, there are a few glitches in this game. If you, for example, pick something up, it's very plausible you might accidentally just immediately throw it. It's killed me so many times you don't even know. Let's see here. And a lot of times it happens because something gets stuck. Ooh, a mimic. Really? Whatever. I'm not sure why that was becoming such a difficult thing to do, but okay, whatever. Something just exploded. Oh, yeah, that's right. Alright, so this is going to be one of those examples of something that I was referring to before about how there's quite a lot of stuff, and you really do want to also pay attention. Like I said before, you really do want to pay very close attention to pretty much everything in the game. Because, yeah, that's right. Because right here, let me go and show it to you. Pretty sure he has it on him. No, he doesn't have it on him. Where does he have it? Something around here. Somebody around here has something on him that explains this. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is that there's... Oh, here it is. Warning. I've sealed several mimics inside, 2 casualties, so maybe as many as 8 mimics. Right, and I'm pretty sure it was this guy who did it. No, it wasn't this guy. But there's a lot of mimics in here. Is essentially the idea. Now, it's safe to just leave it that way. If you don't want to have to deal with those mimics, you don't have to. You do not have to go in there. There's nothing really extremely important in there. However, there are things in there that could be useful. So it's completely up to you as to how you want to handle that. Now, my suggestion would be to do something along these lines. I don't know if this is going to fit through that, but we'll find out. And then we do an no, not an EMP. No, we don't have a recycler, huh? Oh, no, we do have a recycler right there. And there's a guy right in front of me in there. And as you can see, that one will throw them all over into that corner. And then you throw that over there at them. And then shazoos. Gadoosh. Ah, darn it, I accidentally consumed that body. Which sucks because I lost everything inside of it. There wasn't really anything horribly important inside of that one, but there was something important in this one. Which is the good thing, is that you don't want to lose anything that's important, you know what I mean?
Robert, Alice, thank God, no one else is. Where are you?
And always listen to these audio files. I know that I haven't been really doing that as of recently, but you definitely want to do that whenever you can. Ooh, shit.
Come to the elevators. Someone said we're evacuating. Robert?
Shh. Hang on. Someone's coming.
And that was actually the opposite part of the conversation of one of the guys you find at the very, very beginning of this. Ooh. Oh, jeez. We'll go ahead and take one of those.
Please clear aperture of the breach.
Don't ever hesitate to also use, obviously, the... Okay, got him. Don't ever hesitate to use these operators. If you see them that they're available, use them. Yeah, like use it. Oh, and here's that explanation I was trying to talk about before, where they stack up the tumors. For some reason, when you pick them, they just don't stack. But you can stack them. I mean, they're stackable. They're perfectly stackable. It's just some reason there's this weird glitch where they just don't. And I don't know why. And where are you at? Oh, you're not out yet.
TranStar Pyramid 490.
Diagnosing. Looks like you've had a rough day.
I don't think I've scanned one of these guys yet. Nope, haven't.
This will only take a moment. Good new.
It helps when you fight against them, when you fight against the corrupt versions of those. That actually does help a little bit against those. Let me just see if there's anything else around here that I want to pick up. Oh, yep, there's some synthetic material over there. Synthetic material is always good to pick up. That's useful for some of the more... Ooh, another phantom. It's a medical operator. Sometimes the shotgun's just a better answer. It's not to say that the shotgun's always the better answer. It's just to say that the shotgun is a very good answer at times. Boosh. I love that too. You can crack the crack the things. Obviously, you don't want to do that if you can't avoid it, but sometimes it just happens. Hacking becomes one of your best friends, so definitely try to focus in getting that as quick as possible. However, when it does come to getting neuromods to begin with, I would suggest not getting hacking first, because you're going to be doing a lot of backtracking anyways, so you're not going to want to be... You don't have to necessarily get this right away. Now, here's those psychic abilities I was referring to before, and you don't want to necessarily get these right away. These are going to be important, but these aren't necessarily the most important or things that you want to get, especially if you're doing the purity route. You don't want to get any of these if you're doing the purity route. These will even getting like one or two of these will make it so that turrets start attacking you, as well as a wide variety of other things start like affecting you in different ways. So it's actually fairly important to not get those if you can. Now I've got 16, so I can get just about anything I want right now. Question would be is what? Now, this is where it kind of gets a little difficult, and this is obviously something that's a little bit more bent towards how you want to play the game. If you're wanting to focus a little bit more on the direct assaulting on individuals and you just want to whip out a shotgun and start blasting people with it, then you're going to want to go for the firearms ability as quickly as you possibly can. You're also going to want to go for these upgrades on gunsmithing, because gunsmithing as well as lab tech as well as this, combined together, all make it so that you're a lot more powerful when it actually comes to destroying enemies, taking them out. This will increase your ability to upgrade different weapons, such as the beam rifle the plasma rifle that you get. I don't think I have one myself, not yet, unfortunately. But you do get one fairly soon. In fact, actually, I could probably go back and get myself one right now if I really wanted to, which would be very, very useful. I'm not going to lie, because that's one of the best weapons in the game. But you can also do more damage. You can also upgrade things like your glue gun. And I believe you can even upgrade... No, you cannot upgrade the disruptor. No, you can only effectively upgrade the glue gun and the ion cannon that you get like later on. This one, however, the gunsmithing upgrade allows you to upgrade the stun gun, the pistol, the shotgun, and any other. I don't think there's any other weapons that you can upgrade. So it'll probably just be those. And let's see here. Basically, any security weapon is the best way to describe it. But this will also increase the damage in which you do with weapons like shotguns and other things like that, making them way more effective. So, like, your shotgun, who's already kind of, like, which isn't really all that powerful, to be completely honest with you, is going to be doing, like, way more damage. And then when you upgrade it, it's going to be doing even more damage. And as you can see, I have 5 upgrades right now. I personally like to focus my upgrades on my glue cannon, if only just because of the fact that it is a very useful weapon well into the deepest parts of this game. So, I probably might even do that. Now, the other thing to pay attention to is the impact calibration. Impact calibration increases your ability to swing your wrench while also doing more damage with it, and then this also makes it so that you have a chance to do critical damage with the wrench. And I didn't think that this was going to be useful, but I went and got it anyways, and I found out that that happens way more often than you would think it does. Because it's only 25%, but you end up doing the bonus damage, especially when you're doing, like, stealth. Especially if you get, like, the stealth upgrades, you can get so much damage out on just a single swing from your wrench that it's ridiculous. So always keep your eyes open for that as well. That's actually a very useful tool. This is also a very useful ability, though it's not the most important ability. It can actually be very useful when it comes to fighting, especially when you get into the higher ranks, when it comes to fighting enemies, especially like the bigger, tougher enemies, because then you can start throwing your wrench. You can just basically sit there and swing a wrench at one of the tougher enemies, and they can't even do anything to you because you're basically moving around them so fast. It's insane. These are all good for if you are actually wanting to get into the face of your enemy. If you're actually wanting to go straight into their faces and you're trying to take a whole lot of damage and everything like that, this is a perfect choice to do, because this will extend your life by 75 years. I don't know why they added that in, but I like it. And this will also add your health to up to 300, and that's a lot. And that can be really, really useful, especially later on. I usually save these for like the later part of the game, because then you're running around, because then there's so many enemies, so many tougher enemies that you can't fight them all, that you might as well just run past them and take some extra damage and just run past them. So I usually save all of this stuff for later. But I usually try to get this, and probably in this particular route I'm going to go with this, and I think I'm going to go for this actually. Because I need to start working on hacking anyways, and hacking 2 is something that we start to see more and more as we go along, so we probably should start hacking stuff now instead of later. So we're going to go on ahead and do that. And where did that medical operator go? He's all the way over there, so I don't need any more health anyways, so we're good. Alright then, we're good to go, so let's go on ahead and towards the guts. Okay. There's actually a whole bunch of mimics on the other end of this. Come on, mimics. I thought you guys just got thwacked by a whole bunch of flame. I don't know how many of them died to the flame, or if any of them did. I think a couple of them did. I was trying to get some of them. I was trying to get them to die to the flame, because if you don't burn any of them, they're supposed to all. If you don't shut any of those flames off, it is supposed to actually make them come at you. This is basically one of those ambush areas. If you hit one of these things, they all come charging at you all of a sudden. But you didn't have to, obviously. But as you can see, when I... Oop, shit, what am I thinking? I don't know what I was thinking there. But let's see. Was there any others? Oh, here we go. Yeah, I think most of them actually did, in fact, die to died of the flame. However, I did see someone else run off this direction.
I was afraid of this. The scientists here were in the middle of something when they died. Access to the gut is closed off during experiments.
Oh, I haven't scanned one of these either.
You'll have to finish what they started.
One of my only real issues is that they don't actually give you the ability to increase your, what's the word for it? They don't give you the ability to increase your, no, that's a science operator. Where's the medical operator? Where's the medical one? There you are. Other lab.
I'm generalizing when I say us, of course.
I don't care what he has to say. We basically have to go and activate the exam, and it goes wrong. Pretty obvious that it's going to. To be honest. Oh, you know, I totally forgot to unlock this. Why don't we go and do that just to make sure?
Hello, are you here for an appointment?
No, but I'm gonna make one. I'm Dr. Yu. You're gonna listen to me.
I'll have you feeling better soon.
Always use the operators when you have them on hand. And isn't there a phantom down here or something like that? Have I killed the phantom that's down here already? Wasn't there something that dropped down here? Yeah, there was a mimic that dropped down here. That's what I thought. I had a feeling. It was something like that. We're going to go that way in just a second. Why does it keep just giving me this weird signal as if something sees me? Like, I'm seeing it constantly when I'm looking over in the corner of my eye. You definitely want to pay attention to that kind of thing, because it will give you pretty clear and obvious signs that, hey, there's something here and it's seeing you, so you should be careful about that. You know, and I have the ability to do this, but I don't have the ability to do this. I know you're here. I know you're a mimic.
Operator approach.
Boosh. That was really close. Actually, I almost hit this thing. Yeah, they do stuff. And I don't suppose... I know how to get in here. I actually do, in fact, know how to get in here, and it's actually kind of ridiculously stupid how easy it is to get into that. And it's one of those things where you look at yourself and you sort of think to yourself, God, I'm an idiot. Why did I do this? But I'll get into that in just a second here when I actually have the ability to do so. In fact, I probably do actually now, though, when I think about it. But let's go on here real quick. Always good to get as much resources and other things as you can before you actually head back. In fact, actually, let's go ahead and sort everything to make sure everything's stacked. Because, as you can see, the error is up again. Okay, that's all I needed. And there ain't nothing in there. Pretty sure there's no enemies in here.
Hey, over here.
Yeah.
What, you need guns? Ammo? I saw one of them science types going to that armory.
I strongly suggest opening him up, or opening this
Now
up.
that's what I'm talking about. Some human decency, friend.
Even though it's like kind of no reason to, like even though there's no explicit reason to, he does give you this code, no matter what, and he won't give you the code unless you open it.
You can believe I won't forget it. If you still want that code, it's 8714.
8714. And he usually goes in here, and then I think you can lock him in here as well, and it will keep him safe, so that way you don't have to worry about it anymore. But I don't actually explicitly know how to lock him in here. And there are other methods in getting actually...
Ooh, lots of good stuff in here. Maybe there's a spare pistol.
I'm sure he wasn't a good man, but you freed him anyway. I'm curious if it was compassion, or was there some other motive? I can only act in ways that advance my direction.
Now, if you are doing the purity mode, it is probably a semi-decent idea to actually...
You have a choice.
to save him, just because in general it's a righteous thing to do, even though he's, you know, not necessarily the nicest person in the world. Because if you look at his record here, it actually shows that he's like kidnapping, soliciting of a minor, blah 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 blah. But he, you know, he gives you the code, and that's really important. And you could get the code other ways, or you actually can't get the code any other way. But
When do you think we'll get to that breach?
I'm headed out there as we speak.
What do you think happened?
Hard to say.
I think that has to do with the.
Could be some micrometeoroids.
Oh yeah, the seal the hole breach. Where's the hole breach at actually?
Okay, good.
Oh, okay, it's over
Hopefully
here.
it's just that.
Is there something you're not telling me?
No, of course not. It's just that storage room has classified.
At least I think it's just over there. Come on, get out of my way.
Have it be
I need to come back this way anyways.
I understand.
Oh, I see what it is. It's outside. I need to come in here anyways so I can get rid of all of these things. Do some recycling. Always recycle whenever you can. And it's up to you on debating whether or not you want to recycle or if you want to turn these into scrap. Because you could turn these into scrap pieces as well, scrap parts, and that's actually really, really useful for like repairing and other things like that. Oh, you know what? I just realized upgrade. Because I like adding the goo efficiency all the way up. And then we'll go with, to be honest with you, we'll go with reload speed. Reloading speed is a little bit more efficient. And then I'm just going to scrap these. Because there's really no reason for me to have those, or to keep them. And then let's go ahead and shove that in there. No, well, let's keep the food. We need the food. I suggest sometimes, you know, you can get rid of the food, but other times I would suggest going ahead and just keeping them. Grenades are something else I would say that you can kind of throw away and not really feel too bad about throwing away if you kind of wanted to. I would suggest that you never throw more away than just the 10. Like, keep 10 at most, but never throw them away unless you have more than 10. Because, like, the EMP grenades are only really useful, for example, on the mechanical units. But there's only, like, a handful of mechanical units, and if you're playing the purity mode, then you don't really need the mechanical stuff. You don't really need the mechanical stuff, so it's sort of like, yeah, what do you do? Well, let's go ahead and make neuromods if we can make any. Silence pencil, no way. We can make quite a few of these actually. And as you can see, it uses a little bit of everything. So you do want to make sure you have plenty of extra resources, and you don't want to overuse any one of the other resources, because then you won't have enough for the other one. So you won't have enough for the neuromods. So you do want to be careful about that. Alrighty then. That was 5 neuromods. And then let's go on ahead and do the one thing that I actually need to do. We'll just create one of these puppies. Alright. And we'll just keep that one because, to be honest with you, we're going to need it later on. And I found out that I realized that you needed it later on about it. And it's one of those things that you kind of slap yourself in the face about. You don't need to keep like a whole bunch of those darts or anything like that. Just keep like at least 5 darts on you at all times, because you don't really like hit anything beyond that anyway. So, all right, I think this one won't open up until you actually do the breach unlock. So I think that I can't go in there until later. And I think that there's a phantom in there because you can see how things were moving beyond by itself. So, and phantoms are really hard to fight. So, yes, can't get in there until we get to the. Till we do the other thing. So let's go ahead and continue on with the story a little bit, since we've been, avoiding doing that this whole time, and unlike I've been trying to say that I was doing. I promise you, this is effectively the way the game is played. You explore it, and then you go and do the actual mission. Before we do that, though, there is one other little thing I want to do, because I want to kind of show you guys exactly how you get into some of these locations. The best way to get into some of these locations is to actually have the mimic ability, where you can just get right through this window. So as you can see, you can break this window, and you can just get right in here if you wanted to, if you have the mimic ability. However, we don't have the mimic ability, so we're gonna have to do this instead. Let's go ahead and make you 8. And poop. See? Haha. Look at that. It makes you want to like slap yourself as soon as you realize how easy it is to actually get into it. And luckily, when you make the gun itself, it gives you a full clip of the things in there as well. So, and this is also where Bellamy is at, so you can get into Bellamy's stuff as well.
This isn't the first time a Typhon organism has broken containment.
Yeah,
Shortly after your initial neuromod tests, you and Alex fought about terminating the project, evacuating. But Alex insisted he could control the situation. That's when you began implementing secret contingencies.
Okay, let's see here.
Videos, the January protocol. Your concerns have proven to be correct.
Anyways. So we got in there, we got that taken care of, so we don't have to come back down here ever again. Luckily. So now let's go ahead and actually do this. Now I want to let you guys know this is going to go wrong. This exam is going to absolutely 100% go wrong. So I suggest setting up for it. And you know what? I'm going to go with that. Now, he transforms into a variety of different things. Hopefully he transforms into the voltage one. Actually, I hope he doesn't really. Oh, no, he did. Let's see if we can scan him before he gets out of here.
More specimens required.
Okay.
Warning, examination theater compromised.
Okay, well, that's weird. I'm not entirely sure why the null my recycler didn't go off. Now, as you can see, this guys hurt you as well when you're just close to them. Ah, shit, and he also has EMP, so he affects your gun as well. Unfortunately, I hate this stuff. Let me see here. Let me just E real quick, and let's just shotgun him to death.
Warning, examination theater compromised.
Man, he is so tough.
Aperture clear. Operator deployment.
Warning, examination theater.
A null wave would actually be really useful as well in this situation.
Features are the things they don't
But is it tough?
without hesitation. But it's not because they're evil. It's because they can't do otherwise.
You know what the really funny thing is you can actually put this body in here as well. I don't know what happened to that null wave or that recycler, which kind of pisses me off because it means I wasted a recycler. My guess would be is that because it was a whatever they want to call it, it kind of made it so that it dismantled or EMP'd or something else like that. So I don't know. Oh, what is that? Speed scan. Oh, sweet, speed scan. That's actually a really good item. This is useful because it does, in fact, make it so that you can actually regenerate your or do your scans a lot quicker, so you don't have to really worry about getting stuck or something. All right, but that means that the guts is now open. Oh shit! Whew. I think they're being shot at. Okay, sweet. Okay, does that mean all of them were dead, or is it just the one? Okay, they're all dead.
Eradicator auto turrets. TranStar's last-ditch defense against an outbreak. Flimsy, but they're easy to fabricate. Best part is the built-in psychoscope tech. They can discriminate between alien and human targets. Shouldn't be a problem for you.
You know what the best part is? You can, in fact, actually find the fabrication model for these. It's outside in space somewhere, and you get it like later on. But you can find it, and it's actually really cool that you get to find them. Just trying to make sure I've got everything in my hands here. There's nothing else for me to explore. Okay, obviously want to go this way. He looks so excited. Oh, that reminds me. And let's just do 8. 8.
You
I'm going to lose this, but it's going to be worth it. Watch this. If I can get it. I just need to line it up. You know what? Maybe I can break the window. No, I can't break the window. Man, it's just so hard to get it to aim correctly. I'm trying to lock him in there. Yeah, let's go on ahead and do... Damn it, I really hate this thing sometimes. Like, you have to hit the 7 button. You can't use the mouse wheel on your own little thing. And it's not, since it's not on the favorites bar, it's not on the... Okay, I think I got it now. Damn. Damn. Let's not waste too many of these.
Excuse me.
Well, I'm trying to lock him in there, but apparently it's not working, so we're not going to keep doing that.
Scanning target. No alien material detected.
Was that all of them? Is that all of it? No, I'm missing one.
Proximity sensor reset.
Hello.
Oh, well. Did I get everything off of him? No, I didn't get everything. Not everything. Oh, there it is. Right there. I can't get that switch, unfortunately. It just doesn't want to work for some reason. Oh, well. I want to lock him in there because I want to, like, keep him... You know, I want him to die. I don't want him to die. Because if you don't... because if you don't do anything like that, he will actually die. I can't get it, so I'm just gonna let him. Hopefully he's smart enough and he'll stay in there. If he's smart enough. That might be asking a little bit too much, though. But as you can see, though, when it does come to fighting large groups of enemies, especially like these Eradicator turrets, for example, they do a really good job. As long as you have them all focused into one area. Large groups of the smaller enemies, like the Mimics and the Phantoms and stuff, easy peasy for it to fight. So I'm actually going to probably end the video here. Sorry that we didn't get very far again in the actual video, or in the actual thing. We did get the Psychoscope at least, and we are at least going into the guts now. And once we actually start getting into there, we can start really going further and further. But I do want to apologize that I didn't get further into the game than I had originally expected. I think this is going to end up being the norm for this, and I do want to apologize for that, but it's okay. Things just take a little while sometimes. But anyways, I certainly hope you guys still enjoyed all of this, and if you guys did, you guys know the drill by now. Like, share, and subscribe. And of course, as always, guys, good luck out there, and don't forget to have fun.